and county government budgets as per Article 2284 of the Constitution. This role involves monitoring the use of public funds and reporting to Parliament on utilization. I'll also do B, which is the controlling role, where the Controller of Budget authorizes withdrawals from public funds, namely the Consolidated Fund under Article 206, the County Revenue Fund under Article 207, and the Equalization Fund under Article 204. Now, in authorizing the withdrawals, the COB must be satisfied that the withdrawals are in accordance with the law and permitted as stipulated under Article 228 of the Constitution. I'll skip the reporting role, the advisory role, and the investigation role. But I'll go to F, which is the dispute resolution role, because it will be important in this. Undertaking alternative dispute resolution, namely reconciliation, mediation, and negotiation to resolve conflicts and issues relating to budget implementation between national and county governments or between county governments themselves. There are other roles, the public sensitization. There is also the monitoring role and the enforcement of budgetary ceilings, which is also very important. Now, this report is in response to the invitation that the chair has highlighted, which was referent SEN/DGAG/DEVIR of 2025/059, dated 2nd of April 2025, from the Office of the Clerk of the Senate, communicating the concern of the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations on the reported long-running dispute in the County Assembly of Nyamira that has allegedly split the Assembly into two factions. The committee resolved to intervene in the matter and has consequently invited the Controller of Budget to this meeting. I'll skip to the next area, Honorable Chair, and take you through the Nyamira County budget for financial year 2024-25. The original budget for Nyamira County for financial year 24-25 totals 7.54 billion, comprising 2.28 billion, which is 30%, allocated for development programs, and 5.26 billion, which is 70% for recurrent programs. And I have given a summary of the figures that make up that budget. But more importantly is to highlight that the vellum for this budget was signed by His Excellency Governor Amos Kimwomi Nyaribo, and the Clerk of the Assembly, Duke Onyari, and the Speaker, Honorable Enoch Okero, on the 2nd of July 2024, and I have given an annex to the report, Annex 1. Now, the County Executive Committee member for Finance then was Dr. Geoffrey Morara Nyakoe, who signed the forwarding letter on the 2nd of August 2024, and that is given in Annex 2. So the County Appropriation Act was assented to on the 26th of July 2024 and printed on 29th of July 2024. That is as a government press. After this budget, which we continued using as per my constitutional mandate, Nyamira submitted their first supplementary budget for 2024-25. This first supplementary budget was submitted on the 26th of November 2024 and gazetted on 27th November 2024. So it was passed on 26th November and gazetted on 27th November. This supplementary budget amounted to 8.1 billion, comprising of 5.23 billion for recurrent and 2.87 billion for development expenditure, respectively. And I have provided a table showing how we arrive at the total of 8.102. I need to point out that that figure includes the county assembly figures, and they can be verified. Now, this was submitted by the county executive member for finance, Dr. Geoffrey Morara Nyakoe, on the 28th of November 2024. The vellum was signed by Governor Amos Kimwami Nyaribo. The Speaker of the Assembly was Honorable Enoch Okero, and the acting clerk was Mr. Silvanus Ndemo Nyamora, as per the documents that were submitted to my office. These are on Annex 3. The Nyamira County Supplementary Appropriation Act 2025 was assented to, as earlier intimated, on the 26th of November and printed on the 27th of November 2024. Details are on Annex 4. Changes after the passage of the supplementary budget. We observed that the budget estimates had been increased by 7.4% from the 7.54 billion in the original approved budget to 8.1 billion in the first supplementary budget. This increase was attributable to the inclusion of unspent balances of conditional grants from the previous year, amounting to Kenya shillings 399.97 million, and on-source revenue, which was revised upwards by 50 million Kenya shillings. I have summarized this in Table 3 to show where the increases were brought in, but I will not go through the figures. The next item I would like to touch on is the exchequer issues. Exchequer issues arise from requisitions from the county. As of 31st March 2025, the total exchequer issues to Nyamira County amounted to 3.53 billion, representing 44% of the approved budget. The exchequer issued comprised 2.92 billion for recurrent expenditures and 615.89 million for development expenditures, and I have given a breakdown in that table to show how we arrive at the 44%. Now, if I zoom in to the disbursements to the County Assembly of Nyamira, the approved budget for the County Assembly of Nyamira amounts to 797.76 million, comprising of Kenya shillings 699.76 million for recurrent expenditures and 98 million for development expenditures. Exchequers issued to the County Assembly as of 31st March 2025 amounted to Kenya shillings 294.49 million, translating to 37% of the approved budget of the County Assembly. The exchequer releases comprised 263.87 million for recurrent expenditures and 30.62 million for development expenditures, as summarized in Table 4. Honorable Chair, I have given the 13 exchequers given to the Assembly, and we can see that they are mostly for salaries, although a few were for operations and maintenance and recurrent. Then there were also one payment for pending bills for development. So the total is 294,488. I'll come back to that later when we see how the requisitions reach the county assembly. Now, through a letter by Duke Onyari dated 31st October 2024, my office was informed of leadership disputes on the office of the Speaker and the Clerk. Through another letter dated 8th of November 2024, Honorable Enoch Okero wrote to the Controller of Budget notifying us that Duke Onyari had been suspended on disciplinary grounds. In a response to these two letters, my office wrote to the acting clerk, Duke Onyari, on the 10th of December 2024, requesting him to clarify the leadership structure in compliance with court orders and confirming the validity of the appointments of the board members. In an analysis that we did in my office, we discovered the following: that on 8th of October, Honorable Enoch Okero was suspended as Speaker of the County Assembly. He later filed a court case challenging his suspension under HCC HR PET E008/2024, and that there is a court order that was issued on the 11th of October 2024 barring any interference with his role as a Speaker. On the 16th of October, the County Assembly proceeded with an impeachment vote, removing Honorable Okero from office. Now, Gazette Notice number 14050 of 24th October 2024 confirmed the impeachment of Honorable Okero, while Gazette Notice number 13376 indicated the appointment of a new County Assembly Service Board members. The Assembly, through its acting clerk, issued Gazette Notice number 14230 of 26th October, appointing Mr. Silvanus Ndemo Nyamora as the acting clerk. Meanwhile, Mr. Duke Onyari, who was removed from office, maintained that he was the legitimate clerk. Honorable Chair, we kept receiving conflicting information. One letter would tell us this, another letter negates what we had received before. Now, so there were legal challenges and pending court cases. We realized that several court cases had been filed regarding the legitimacy of the appointments and the leadership disputes as outlined. Now, there was, I don't want to go into the cases because really that is not what I'm here to say. What steps have we taken to ensure the matter is resolved? That is the question that was asked from the Senate. And as I have indicated, this office did seek clarification on the legitimate holders of the office of the Speaker and the Clerk due to the ongoing disputes. In my letter dated 10th December to the acting clerk, Duke Onyari, requesting him to clarify the leadership structure and compliance with court orders and the confirmation of the validity of the appointments of the board members, we received a response from a lawyer, and I do not know how my letter got to the lawyer, but again, that is maybe we'll get to know. But again, another letter dated 24th March 2025 was addressed to the CECM Finance, seeking for clarification on who is the legitimate Speaker and Clerk of the County Assembly. I have given this as Annex 6. a letter dated 2nd of April 2025 to MN advocates responding to their query on who the legitimate office holders are in overseeing the county financial matters. So, Honorable Chair, we have made many attempts to try and find out from the Assembly, but every time I will do a letter, a response comes from a different quarter altogether that I did not address. So I have been left in the middle. But what I have done is to go by the law, which I'll be covering briefly. Noting that there are no court orders prohibiting my office from disbursing funds, the requisitions for withdrawal of funds from the County Revenue Fund have been disbursed in accordance with the law and in accordance with the Exchequer guidelines that I have given to each county. In seeking clarification of the legitimate office holder for the County Assembly of Nyamira through the letter addressed to the CECM Finance, my office relied on the following provisions. This is what I said I would come back to. Section 103 of the Public Finance Management Act of 2012 establishes the county treasury for each county government, while Section 104(1) of the Treasury of the Public Finance Management Act of 2012 indicates that the county treasury shall monitor, evaluate, and oversee the management of public finances and economic affairs of the county government. The county government in this instance denotes the county executive and the county assembly as stated in Article 176(1) of the Constitution. B. Section 109, subsection 6 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 states that the county treasury shall obtain written approval of the control of budget before withdrawing money from the county revenue fund. This means that the control of budget can only receive requisitions from the county treasury. The county treasury consolidates requests for funding from all the departments, including the county assembly, and forwards the requisitions to the control of budget. Consequently, the onus is on the county executive member for finance to clarify the accounting officer from whom the request for funding was received. It is therefore the responsibility of the CECM Finance to provide clarification on financial matters, including identifying the legitimate accounting officer of the county government. So what are we saying in conclusion, Honorable Chair and Honorable Senators? That this matter indeed remains highly contentious, with multiple pending court cases affecting the governance and financial operations of Nyamira County Assembly. Given the legal complexities, my office maintains that clarification of the legitimate accounting officer is the responsibility of the county treasury. Now, Honorable Chair, that is as far as my presentation goes. And last evening, as I was preparing he has written to us, though it's not part of the presentation, so I had not attached it as an attachment. And the letter reads, I'll just get an extract of it. that upon perusal of the orders of the court of 11th October 2024 and 28th October 2024 in Nyamira HCCHR petition stroke 011 of 2024 and the order dated 30th January 2025 in Nyamira HCJR stroke E007 stroke 2024, as well as the order dated 6th of February 2025 in Nyamira HCCHR petition E001 of 2025, we note that the court has been consistent that at the time of the purported impeachment of the incumbent Speaker of the County Assembly of Nyamira, there were conservatory orders in place restraining anyone from interfering with the incumbent Speaker's discharge of his duties. This is further buttressed by the order dated 6th February 2025, whereby injunctive orders were issued restraining the alleged new Speaker from purporting to act and discharge duties as a Speaker of the County Assembly of Nyamira. And even though there are no express orders directing the incumbent Speaker to assume the office of the Speaker, the above orders are, by implication, recognizing the incumbent Speaker as having not ceased to hold office. The court, in the ruling dated 4th November, and it goes on to say what the court order said. So, Honorable Chair, what we are saying is that the back and forth communication has been ongoing, and we tasked the CECM, who is the head of the county treasury, to identify to us who the real accounting officers are and who the Speaker of the County Assembly is, and they have confirmed. So in summary, he has said the following, that the sum effect of these court orders is the recognition that Mr. Enoch Okero and Mr. Silvanus Ndemo-Nyamora are the Speaker and Acting Clerk of the County Assembly of Nyamira, respectively. So this letter is dated 3rd of April 2025 and was received in my office on the 7th of April 2025, being the very latest communication from Nyamira. So, Honorable Chair, I believe that I have covered all the 5 areas which were asked in the letter, unless, of course, there are any questions to that effect. Thank you very much.